What's up, y'all, and welcome to the very first episode of the OffRecord podcast. I'm your host, Sierra, and before we get into anything else, I want to start by saying this. This podcast is so much more than just content for me. I feel like a lot of y'all know me for what I do, what I'm a part of, what I create, but y'all don't know the real me. Y'all don't know who I really am, and that's kind of where this podcast came to be. This is for the misunderstood, the underrepresented people, the people who never really get a chance to say what they need to say. This is for all of us to come together, talk about real stuff, keep it real raw. And today I had to bring on two people who are very, very, very dear to my heart, y'all. They really welcomed me in with open arms as soon as I got back to LA. And honestly, I don't know where I would be without these two. I'm not gonna lie. One thing about me, my mind is always going. There's always something new to try, something new to do. And these two be right there riding with me. So it was only right to have them right here on this first one. What's up, Jalen? What's up, Jaquan?
Hey, y'all. How y'all doing?
I'm not gonna ask y'all the generic tell me about yourselves because I don't know about y'all, but one thing about me, when I hear that, I forget my entire identity.
Man.
So we're gonna start off with this one question. How do people usually describe you? And is that truly a version of who y'all actually are, or is that just how you're perceived?
So, my bad, y'all. Mic check. I feel like people really describe me as very reserved, very quiet, just like to myself. That's how I'm perceived. However, I am that, but it's a but. But I feel like once you get to know me, you do kind of see more of an outgoing, caring person. I feel like I have like this hard exterior when you first meet me. And then once that trust, that bond gets built up, then it's like it kind of, gets broken down a little bit. Yeah. And then you kind of see like a different side of me. You're like, oh, like you're not so like quiet or to yourself. Like, you're not weird. Like you're actually cool. So it's definitely that.
For me, when you first meet me, a lot of people have told me like, oh, you get rested. Can we go somewhere here? I just want to ask. Okay, you get rested, bitch face. I'd be like, oh. But honestly, that's just because like when I'm around like new people, I'm very observant. So I'm always like trying to scope the scenery. Like, ooh, can I be comfortable with this person, or do I have to be more reserved? Yeah. That's just a form of protection for me. But once I really get comfortable, then you get to see like, oh, this nigga really got like personality. Like he's really like just be doing stuff. And like I'm really a naturally goofy person, and like not everybody gets to like see that side, but once you see that side, you be like, dang, he can't shut the fuck up, because it's just like it's always something with me. I'm either singing, I'm doing some type of meme, I'm doing some skit. I'm very dramatic, but I give very much energy. That's just how my personality is. Like I want to have fun, I want you to have fun. Like we're gonna vibe. Especially when I'm around, we're gonna vibe. So definitely.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel the same way about me. I feel like a lot of people, honestly, every time I ask somebody what their first impression of me, it's always, she's quiet. She's to herself, But I feel like another thing is a lot of people think I'm really boring. Because I don't do parties. I don't really do the things that a lot of people do in today's society, just because like that's just not my thing. So a lot of people like associate that with like not having no type of personality, not knowing how to have fun, when in reality it's like, no, like when I'm with my people, we can have a good time, And another thing, you don't always got to be off the liquor to have a good time.
You don't got to be under influence.
You don't got to be under the influence at all to have a good time.
Clock
for
that people in the back.
All right, y'all. So look, if somebody looked at y'all today, what do you think they never guess you survived?
Oh, we're going there. Okay,
yes,
so
we are.
Trauma, and what I mean by, because that's a broad term, but it's like being homeless, trauma with my parent, just life. I think people don't really understand, like, this generation, we really put in the trenches. I'm like, this is not like the adulthood that I was told. I was told about $500 apartments. I was told the club was gonna be popping. None of that happened. Real though, none of that happened. I was lied to. To be
real though, it was those prices when we was young.
Yeah, when we were young. Why y'all gotta start getting expensive when I want to get an adult?
When I'm grown now, it want to be $1,700, $1,800. Like, whoa,
$2,500 for a studio.
A studio.
To look at my refrigerator?
Literally.
And I'm in the bed? No.
Like, your toilet is right next to your kitchen. Why is that? Like, who made the floor
Criminal
plans?
offense. Yeah.
All right, Jalen, what you survived?
Oh. It's crazy when the spotlight on you. I feel like this is a safe space, so I could go ahead and say it. For me, definitely what Jaquan said, trauma, especially with childhood and stuff. As like a young kid, very young, like elementary, I was forced to grow up. You know, I didn't have that childhood like everybody else did, you know, while everybody else is outside and like enjoying their lives and not having to worry about stuff. You know, I had to worry about like my mom and her health and, you know, dealing with my parents going at each other's throats and stuff over who's the better parent, who's going to get custody.
Oh, Lord,
dealing with siblings who resented me. You know, because I was the last kid, and they felt like I got the best version of both my parents, when in reality I didn't. Just all of that, you know, even dealing with like housing situations and stuff. You know, I moved around a lot, and it was just me and my mom. And, you know, like having to get a job and stuff young, and like having to start working and everything. Like, it wasn't even by choice. Like,
you had to.
You know, I had to do it to pay bills. You know, I was really like somebody that my mom depended on. And, you know, it sucked, but I feel like it kind of made me the person I am today. Like, I have like that mentality built in me. I have that hustle. So it's like I could literally be brought down to ground zero, and I know how to build myself back up.
Exactly.
So
amen to that.
Amen to that. I really resonate with that too. Basically everything that you said, I'm not gonna lie, but I feel like, not to say I put my childhood trauma on display, because not really, but that's one thing that I'm really open about, because I feel like a lot of people would kind of benefit from hearing that perspective and, like, you know, kind of learn a little bit from the things that I've been through. But I feel like one thing that I don't really put on display is depression. I feel like that's one thing that a lot of people would not have thought that I battled before, especially family, like all of that. I don't know. I remember being like 15, 16 years old, just at war with my own mind. The only people I really had was like, you know, my mom, my family and stuff like that. And it's like, how do you tell the person that gave birth to you that you don't want to be here anymore?
I went through similar things, you know, like my child, like imagine just having like a depressed parent and stuff who like displays those like traits and everything, and it's like you start to see that in yourself, and it's kind of like, you know, you're battling with your mind and stuff on whether you want to be here or not, and it really does suck, especially as a kid, because, you know, that's like when we really need that support.
My perspective was a little bit different when it comes to like my parent. I mean, I was raised with my mom as a only parent, but you touched me when you said that depression, because I remember the first time I really was like really depressed was in high school. I think I was like 16, 17, around that time. It crushed me. I was going through a lot, especially with my sexuality, like coming out. That was a whole situation. My first boyfriend, that went south completely. And then having to have that uncomfortable conversation with your parent, and then hearing like, oh, well, I still love you, but I'm disappointed. I'm like, I'm like, what? It's like,
it's kind of backhanded. It's like, do you accept me or do you not? You know?
I mean, me and my mom, we have a better relationship now, but like when it was that time, it was real like rock the boat. Like, yeah. But just to go further, like, I get you on that, because that depression was really like something. Like, your boy stopped eating. I was losing weight like a mug, and I don't know if y'all know me, but one thing for sure, two things for certain, I don't miss meals. Like,
you don't.
I'm gonna eat.
You gonna eat.
I might eat a little bit extra. You feel me? But
Bro,
back then was like not too much. But so like when it comes to that point of like not really eating, not really showing interest in things I like do, singing, just my personality, I just became more quiet and reserved. I didn't really want to deal with people. And then it was another thing that I had to worry about too. I just felt like I was ready to just snap on somebody, and I'm just like, that's not me. I'm like, something's really wrong. And I just remember like starting that journey of like counseling and things like that. Like, I went ended it myself. My parent didn't recommend me. Nobody recommended me. I was like, I know
you have to.
in me something is wrong. Like, this is not me. This is not something I want to live my life. Like, this is just, I don't really want to feel like this. Like, it's just, what am I here for? And that used to be the question I used to ask myself, even with God and things like that. Like, why am I here? Why do I have the parents that I have? Like, what did I do to deserve this type thing? Situation. So, yeah.
And, like, with all that being said, I feel like we've all seen hell in different forms. And, you know, somehow we're still here, still grinding through it all. So we're going to talk about that.
By the grace of God.
By the grace of God. We're going to talk about it. So what moment made y'all realize, nah, like, I got to get up out this cycle? And that could be anything. What was the cycle? And then what made you realize it has to stop?
I'm gonna take this one real quick. I think the word, like, generational curses, and I don't want to say that because I know people, like, feel a type of way with that, but there is a pattern. Like, at least the relationship between my mother and her mother, which is, like, my grandmother, that relationship that they had was toxic. And I seen the patterns. It was happening between the relationship with me and my mother. And I was like, she didn't notice it because it was like, it wasn't exactly the same. And I remember my mom used to do that in my face, like, oh, my childhood was this, and I had to deal with this, and you didn't have to deal with that, da-da-da-da-da. But it's like, okay, you can't compare two bronze spoons and act like it's like, babes, we're not rich. And I used to, oh my God, I used to, like, literally piss me off. I'm like, you're acting, she's like, oh, you had a better life than me. I'm like, bro, what money do we have? I don't.
They always throw that in
your
living
face. In a penthouse.
Always.
You don't have a house. I don't have a house. Like, you're comparing a bronze spoon to another bronze spoon. Like, come on.
Or, like,
come on.
The ones that kind of assume that because you have a bunch of materialistic things that equates to happiness.
Especially,
like, you got all the J, so how are you depressed? How are you sad? Whoa, I didn't know that.
Let me get on that too. I think a lot of parents feel like, oh, well, I feed you, I bathe you. Like, I that's important. I will never take that from you. You did your kudos, but
you ate that up.
That's the men. Like, you're supposed to do that. And I feel like parents, like, I'm not even gonna shade parents because, you know, everybody has their own situation. But, like, at least in my situation, it was like, I didn't like that feeling of just being like, oh, like, I need to be grateful because you did this. Like, ma'am, I never.
Like, you
let's
still
keep it real.
hurt,
I never
you
asked to
still
be
hurt
here.
me, kind of. You know, like, you still hurt me at the end of the day,
yeah,
regardless
like,
of the fact that you did all this.
It just made me feel
parent.
like, what am I here for? Like, in a sense, like, damn, am I really that much of a burden to you? Like, you know?
Yeah.
And that kind of sucks. Like, you don't never want your child to feel like they're a burden to you.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, every child is like a gift from God. Because shit could have happened before I even got here. You could have aborted me, all type of stuff. It's just, that's the truth.
Exactly.
And even then, like, some people can't have kids, so it's like every child is a blessing in their own.
Yeah.
And it's just like, to make a child feel like that, it's just like, damn, like, that's fucked up.
And then, like, also another thing I want to say is I'm a very empathetic person. I'm very emotionally, like, intelligent in a way, and so I'm big on kind of trying to see it from our parents' perspective as well, because they weren't given, like, a blueprint. This is their first time being parents, so it's like, I try not to be that person that's just like, you did everything terrible, like, you know, how could you do this? It's like, no, like, we all make mistakes at the end of the day. I feel like as long as they're kind of growing from it and, you know, trying their best to be better, that's what matters to me the most.
You already?
Yeah.
I feel like for me, I've been put in so many situations where I just thought in the back of my head, I'm like, I can't be put in this situation again. You know, one being almost homeless. Yeah. You know, I think that was like a big wake up call for me. And this was like freshman year, you know.
Of high school or college?
High school.
High school.
Literally, like, second semester, my granny had just passed away, and my mom was, like, taking care of her. She was, like, going to the hospital. As crazy as it sounds, I don't even remember seeing my mom that much my freshman year of high school, and we lived together.
Really?
She was gone for, like, the most part. And it's not even, like, I don't put that against her, because if I was put in that situation with her, I would do the same thing. Right. I just think that she was emotionally attached to the fact that she might be losing her mom, and she didn't want that to happen. Yeah. And it was kind of like, for me, I needed to focus on school and everything, but I couldn't. You know, everything wasn't right at home, and I was depressed. And so, you know, I was failing and stuff. And then it got into, like, we had to leave. We had to move out. Our lease was up. And we didn't have nowhere to go. And that was a horrible feeling, you know?
Yeah.
People really show their true colors and stuff. And I think just not being able to have access to certain things, like resources and stuff, I feel like that was what, like, drive me, you know, like, I need that. I need to be able to afford groceries and stuff. I need to be able to have a roof over my head.
Necessities.
I need, you know, like, I need to be able to have water and stuff and all of that. Even, like, traits and stuff, like the toxicness, the messiness of, like, family and stuff. I've seen, like, the worst, especially in my mom's side of the family. And I don't care if y'all see this. I don't care if y'all see this. Y'all can come see me about it.
Okay.
But cousins, aunties, everybody.
Y'all looking at the camera on that one. Like, hold on.
Everybody could get it.
This direct. Like, hold on.
Hey, just going through all of those experiences and stuff, it definitely made me look at life very different. Yeah. I wouldn't want that for my kids. I wouldn't want that for my relationships and stuff. Yeah. You know, even like dealing with my ex and stuff, I feel like I kind of carried on some of those toxicness traits and everything. Yeah. And, you know, looking back at it, I'm just like, dang, you know, like, I could be different than those people.
Exactly. Like, so, you don't have to carry everything from everybody
I don't have
else.
to carry everything. I could break that generational curse.
Really. I think for me, I've had a lot of these moments, honestly, because I've been through a lot of shit. So many moments where I'm like, nah, like, I can't keep doing this.
It's like the list just keep going
it's just
on,
like,
man.
It's like boom, job, parents, family,
relationships,
school, relationship. Like, bro. But I don't know. Like, I couldn't even tell y'all what is the biggest one for me. Honestly, I would say going to college at San Diego State for those first like 2 years, that was my wake up call for real. As far as like, nobody is coming to save you. If you're not happy, you have to figure out how to make yourself happy. There's nobody that's gonna come and bring happiness in a Target bag, grocery store bag, deliver it, here you go. Like, you have to find that for yourself. And I feel like that's what really made me who I am today. Just realizing that if I want all these things that I want in this life, I have to get up and go get it. Nobody else is going to do it for me. All right, y'all. So, what did growing up in LA teach you about people?
They're messy as fuck.
And weird.
Weird and messy. Weird. And I wouldn't want to be a product of my environment. That's the biggest thing. I wouldn't want to be a product of my environment. And I'll keep saying that. Because LA. It's a different.
All right. We're gonna have a little. We getting deeper here on that question. I was born in Inglewood. We just gonna say that Sentinel Hospital.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trash. Never again. Oh my gosh. But I was raised in 108th and Western, which if y'all know, that's Westmont. That's South Central.
Yep.
Went to Annie Mall Western, which is. Yeah, we're going to say that. Middle school, and then my high school is Washington.
Oh, you went to Washington? I didn't know that.
LA taught me that everyone's not your friend.
Right.
A lot of people's fake.
Right.
And it wasn't safe. Like, I know people that literally did not make it to the age of 18, died.
What? People died.
I know a lot of girls that was fucking and was getting pregnant in middle school. Like, third floor. Stairs. Like, even in high school, third floor, stairs. Sure. But LA's really taught me, like, when you find your circle of people that you can trust and really, like, build a bond with. And me, I'm a type of person, I'm really hard on loyalty because it's, like, it's hard to find that in people, like, genuine people that really, like, care for you. Like, when you're really at your lowest, that's when you really know, like, who's going to be there for you when it's not beneficial. You know, because everybody's like, yeah, people going to be around when you got money, when you got a car, like, something that they can... benefit from weed, liquor, whatever the case may be, even your energy. If you're just that type of person that people love to be around, because I ain't gonna cap, I am that type of person people love to be around. But it's like when I'm having my days, when I'm not at that point of like giving, it's like I've only seen a handful of people that's still in my corner, like I can call and rely on, that I can vent to, and child, Lord knows I be having my days. So it's like I really do cherish those relationships because those are the ones that's gonna make it far.
Jaquan been waiting to say this, by the way. I hope y'all know that.
You've been waiting on this one.
For me, I'm not gonna lie to you. I got the best of both cities.
Okay.
LBC and LA.
Okay.
I had my mom in LBC, and then I had my pops in LA.
Okay, just for the people in the back, please explain what LBC
What's
means.
LBC? They
Long
don't know.
Beach City.
Long Beach
Oh.
this.
562.
Long Beach that.
He said represent for the people in the back. All right.
So this whole little Long Beach versus LA thing, I stay out of it because for me, I got the best.
I
of
don't
both.
have a bone in that fight.
You
This
feel me?
a LA
Everybody
baby
be
right
bashing
here.
Long Beach, and my thing is that like, it's crazy. I mean, it's not. I don't think it's as crazy as it sounds, but I felt more safer in Long Beach than LA.
Yeah.
You know, I felt like Long Beach was more community centered, and we were in the hood. By the way, we was on the east side of Long Beach. Everybody know it. You feel me? It do get cracking over there,
Get shiesty over
but it was the community, the neighbors and stuff, the friends I made, like the lifelong friends I still have and stuff. You know, like the teachers I met, like all of that. Even like the liquor stores, you know, like the owners and stuff.
all of that.
I grew up in like Cambodia town, and them liquor store owners, they took me in. Like they would give me free candy on my birthday and stuff. Like, you know, like they would check in on me, ask me how I'm doing, how's school. Like they'll get on me like they my mama. Even the Lotte on me. The Lotte lady, she be on me. Like I had braces one time, and I remember I was trying to get corn on the cob, and she was like, nah, like we gonna put it in the cup. I was like, no, like I want. She was like, nah, like she was like, I ain't
about
gonna
to bite into that.
Yeah, like you ain't finna ruin these $5,000 braces.
Man, 5 band, 6 band, nah.
She gonna give me some.
And mind you, I had them on for almost 5 years.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I was a brace face for since
I
like.
want them, but I ain't trying to pay that price.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, they got payment plans,
They
but
do.
I didn't have to pay for mine. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I ain't got payment money. I'm just
Cause
Your
mom
boy's
Duke, she let Andre handle that his insurance. She was like added to his tab. So, but as far as like LA and stuff, my dad, he was in Leimert Park in the heart of it. So I feel like even with that, I kind of see the positive of it because it was also a community type of thing, you know. We had neighbors and stuff. We had the old folks. It was very like, you know, like you had all your black people and stuff, like especially your old heads and everything. And they really look out for the kids in the neighborhood and stuff. Yeah. So just like having that type of security and stuff, I felt like home with both cities. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah. So it's all love. 562 and 310.
I love that. I love that. I love that. Okay. So now we're gonna get into this segment called Fallout Files. You ready? So listen, what do people usually say about y'all after falling out? Whether it's an ex, old friend, or even family. Do you feel like those descriptions are accurate, or is it just their version of what happened? I'm gonna start here on this one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking to you. So, me personally, I am constantly painted as the villain, which is so crazy because I said in the beginning, surface level, a lot of people are just like, oh, Sierra, she's so chill. She be in her own world, very sweet, you know, da-da-da-da. However, retired crash out. I'm the type of person, I'm never going to hold my tongue. If I have something to say, I promise you I'm going to say it. If I feel some type of way, I'm going to say it. And it's not always, it's not ever really in a disrespectful manner. But I feel like a lot of people in today's society and today's generation are not used to hearing about themselves. Yeah. So when you tell them about themselves, it's I'm that person. You gonna meet your match with me every single time because I'm gonna tell you about yourself. I really am. And I don't know. I feel like that kind of gives people that persona that I'm like the villain, like, oh, she's just mean, because I don't be going for the bullshit.
I feel like it's taking your kindness for weakness. People see how nice you are. Yes. They see your energy, and they take that and they run with it. And they not even just like a little jog. It's like these niggas be sprinting.
They be
like,
on that track.
Yeah, like the full 400.
They got a whole ass car going 90 on that bitch.
Going 90 on the highway. I'm really, really glad that you brought that up, and that's like coming from somebody's perspective. That's not my own, because I feel like I'm also the person. I'm not just going to like full throttle crash out on you at the first time. I'm going to tell you a couple times, I don't like this. I don't want to do that. I don't think you should do that. I don't like being treated this way. And they're going to keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. And then when she crash out, it's, what happened? I didn't even do anything. Bro, don't play with me. Don't play with me, bro.
I never really cared about, like, if we had a falling out, One thing's for sure, I know the type of person I am. I'm very understanding. I'm very much like, if we can work it out, we can work it out. But if it reached the point to where we just, hey, we not friends no more, it is what it is. You know, I know what type of person I was, and I can even take accountability for things that went wrong. I'm always the type of person, like, when it comes to things like that, I can take that.
Yeah.
I heard that.
That's something that I can
Accountability.
do.
Accountability.
That's
now,
the word
I
today.
said I could take my accountability, but if you done did some shit and you not taking yours, you trying to blame that shit on me?
Yeah.
Accountability,
Fuck
y'all.
Word of today's episode: accountability.
But
There's gonna be other words,
like,
too.
once we reach that point to where we're not friends anymore, it's kind of like I had a funeral on my head and you died.
Yeah.
That's not to sound fucked up, because it's just like, at the end of the day, we can always go back to when we didn't know each other. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
The issue I have is when people be having like beef with you,
But
and it's
don't come to you about the
one-sided,
beef. That's another thing I gotta
or
say.
they talking about you to everybody, and it's just like, but you didn't say that to me.
my face.
If you don't like me, you don't need to be around me. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. If you do not like me, you do not have to be around me. And I'm going to say that in the camera.
In the camera.
Because I feel like a lot of people do that, where it's like they don't like somebody, but they being fake and just want to be around them just to get your business, to get your
Out
tea,
there.
and then go post that shit on Instagram. Like, it's never
Dingus.
that serious, bro. It's never that serious.
And
What
listen.
tells me is that you ain't got no life. I must be that important. They're like, no, you're not important. It's not that. Yeah, I am that important,
yeah, 'cause
because
if you have
I'm not worried
something to
about
say,
you.
yeah.
You're worried about me. What the fuck I got going on?
And another thing, if we not cool for whatever the reason may be, if we not cool in your head and you're going to other people saying all this, saying all that, but you're not coming to me about it, I promise you we don't have a problem. You have the problem.
I feel like one thing is, like, if we're falling out, and I see a lot of people do this, they want to take it below the belt and just start spreading like vulnerable and personal business that you would not have known if we wasn't in that, like,
And stuff
friends,
that has nothing
like,
to do with the
that
situation.
close, just to be like, oh, I got your tea, I'm finna.
Yeah.
But that just shows the type of character you have. Like, I know people, when you're hurt, you do hurt shit, but at the same time, it's like you have to take accountability for your own actions to be like, do I really want to go that far? Because once you go that far, there's no going
coming
back.
Exactly.
So it's like you have to be really mindful, and I ain't gonna sit here and be like, I ain't gonna be no hypocrite.
Right.
I done some shit.
Right.
But
We
when
all-
you go
Me
to
too. We all.
if
We
you
all.
go low,
We all.
I'm taking it to hell. I'm just gonna say
Exactly,
that.
exactly.
But don't take me
Exactly.
there. I'm
Don't.
not that type of person who likes to go there.
Don't
but
take
I'm
me
gonna.
there.
I'm the type of person, I always say this. I match energy. So if you giving that rah, like we finna go there, then we're gonna go there. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like for me, like Jaquan said, I really don't care. I don't care who don't like me, who don't fuck with me. If you feel like you gotta cut me off, do it. I don't care. Like, I promise you, like, back then, probably, like, when I was younger, I used to care about why people wasn't messing with me or fucking with me or whatever. You know, like, I would try to figure out. I'll go above and beyond. But just going through the experiences I have gone through with people, different situations and stuff, like, I just realized that I just really don't give a fuck. It does nothing for me to figure out why we're not talking no more.
Yeah.
If we was to stop talking today, that's fine.
That's
You
cool.
feel me?
Exactly.
I'ma still wake up and get to that bread.
Exactly.
Nothing's gonna stop me from getting my money. Nothing's gonna
Exactly.
stop me from being there for my family, for the people that actually fuck with me. So I could care less.
Yeah.
And this goes for anybody that feels some type of way about me right now. I don't care.
Exactly.
that part, we give no fucks.
So I want y'all to think about y'all most recent fallout. Okay. I want y'all to think about y'all most recent fallout.
You don't want to know
Now.
about that one.
Yes, I do.
My God.
Do we got to?
Yes.
This is bad.
Yes, this is Off Record. Welcome to the Off Record podcast.
You
Bro,
right?
you finna give me a try.
So listen,
Oh God.
are y'all ready?
Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's get
Listen.
into it.
If someone only heard their side of the story, what would you want them to know about the real you, or like your perspective on how things went down?
I feel like for me, I'm not the villain in this situation,
Okay.
as this person has made me seem. I am not what they're describing me as. I feel like this person got caught up. They got called out. They didn't want to take accountability. And the easy way out was blaming it all on me. And even though our mutuals know the real, anybody that's this person's friend or like that fuck with them or, you know, that don't want to hear my side, that's fine. You know, I feel like I've come into a point in life where I'm fine being that villain or painted as something that I'm not to people. Because it's like you can explain to them all you want why you're not this. You can try to convince them and everything, but people have already made up their minds.
Right.
So I feel like for me personally, they could see me as whatever.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Because at the end of the day, I know me. My peoples know me. They know my heart and stuff, and they know what I align with, my morals, my goals and stuff. So, yeah. And to that person, fuck you.
I'm going to piggyback on what he said. Like, I don't give a damn. And when I say that, I really don't give a damn. Like, when it comes to your perspective and my perspective, people who know me, they know the truth, they know my character, and that's the most important thing. If I'm the villain in your story, then so be it. I'm the villain. I'm still keeping to go on my villain art any damn way, so it don't even really matter. I'm just the type of person, if you gotta tell Tim, Bobby, and Harlem about what the fuck we got going on in our situation, I don't give a damn. You think you finna get them people to gang up on me? I don't care. I really don't.
And notice how they always need an audience.
Exactly. So
group. They always
what do you need an audience for about what me
because they
you got
lying.
going
That's
on?
how you could spot a liar too. Because why are you going to tell X, Y, and Z?
Why are you telling everybody?
And
else?
honestly, this is the real question. This is the real question.
Okay.
What the fuck they gonna do?
Right.
Let me just let that simmer for a little bit.
Right.
That part.
You tell all these people what the fuck they gonna do?
Right.
Cause I promise you, they're not gonna touch me.
Just let this person know. If you ever was to show it to my crib, I promise you.
Oh my god!
I promise you, this is not what you want. You got my number, but I promise you, don't
do it.
But no, because not to like promote that, but all I'm saying
we're not
is,
promoting that. But I'm just saying,
I have uncles, I have aunties, I got cousins, I got grandpas, I got grandmas, I got people. So it's
Granny,
like there's gonna
not granny. Hold up.
And granddad.
Okay.
Baby, they don't play about me. So
I gotta see granny get in the field real quick.
Okay.
But all I'm saying is we all got people that care about us and don't want no harm to come to us. So why even get to that situation because you're mad? And then when you really sit down and be like, okay, what was the beef about? It'd be over something stupid.
Something so dumb.
It'd be like, you really fighting over that because he didn't want to talk to you because of this, because of that. Like,
so for me, I would say, word of the day, accountability. I could take accountability and I could tell you when I should have not said something how I said it, or when I shouldn't have did this, when I shouldn't have did that. I'm very much a grown adult. I can tell you when I went wrong, and I feel like a lot of people in this generation, this society, they always want to play the victim. Before we get into the temperature check, I'm going to give y'all one opportunity to ask me a question. Or start a topic. Ask a question or start a topic.
Let's start a topic.
Okay.
Let's talk about school.
Okay.
messy.
Let's talk about school, y'all. Okay, so for context, anybody that doesn't know, me, Sierra, and Jaquan, once upon a time, were co-workers.
Oh, Lord.
For a certain place. We're not going to name this place out of privacy and respect.
Yep.
But, and this is no diss to nobody, but I think that people don't realize, those people at our school don't realize what we all three have to do on a daily basis outside of this place.
Yeah.
And I feel like, for one, I could just speak for me right now, having to work a full-time overnight job for 5 days a week, 9 to 6.
No sleep.
No sleep. Then I gotta drive all the way. Mind you, I don't live in LA, y'all. I'm not local. No more. I live all the way near Pomona. I might as well go to Cal State Pomona at this point because it's down the street. And then I have to get dressed, then go to this certain place, work there for my couple hours. You feel me? Plan stuff, get everything together, do it for student success. Then I got an hour to get to I got an hour to myself to rest. Then I gotta do it all over again.
Right. Exactly.
So when you show up to this specific place, and I'm talking to my peers, and you're venting to me, and you're going on and on about your problems, which, you know, I could be there for you. I can give you advice if you want to hear it.
But then
if you want to hear the
If you're
truth.
gonna take it, if you're gonna take
Clock it.
But one thing is for certain, two things for sure. Ask me how I'm doing before you sit here and vent to me and tell me all your problems. because, you know, I might be going through stuff myself. Mentally, physically, I might be going through stuff. So before you put all your problems on me, just ask yourself, how is this person doing? What do they do every day? What do they sacrifice every day to be here?
And I could piggyback off of that too, because I feel like a lot of people, they don't know what I really do behind the scenes at all. Like, y'all see me at work, okay, cool. She get up, she leaving, you don't know where she's going. Y'all, my alarm goes off at 4:50 every morning. I'm working by 6 o'clock in the morning. Get off work 9 a.m., going to school. I'm at school, get off 2 p.m. Driving 30, 45 minutes to get to the next job. Getting off at 6 o'clock, get home, maybe like an hour or two to myself. And maybe not even that, because don't let me have a homework assignment. Don't let me have a paper to do. That's not even my time anymore.
No sleep.
Go to sleep, wake up, do it again. So like he said, you telling me all your problems, all your business, okay, cool, because I strive to be that person. I like to be there for people all the time. Like, I like to make sure everybody's good. But you telling me about what you got going on with this man, and you can't even ask me, am I good? You can't even... You need an Alani or something?
Man, like, we don't even have the same 24 hours for real. Go ahead, Jaquan, speak on it real quick, because I just know.
Oh my God. I mean, my experience, I don't know about y'all, because y'all be some troopers, man. It was just, you know, that was my job. Like, that was my space, and it's not the same anymore. It's like when you really lose that space, it's just, it don't hit the same no more. I don't know. Like, I really do feel lost sometimes on campus. Like, I really don't feel like I have that safe haven anymore. And maybe it'll take time, maybe another semester or two when I get back into the groove of it. But working there, it was an experience.
Yeah.
It has its up and downs. It had its times when it was good, and it had its times where it's just like, why in the fuck am I still working here? Like, there would be moments where it's just like I really felt more like a babysitter than like an actual student worker sometimes, because they have their problems. And when you really sit there and listen, I'm like, y'all got problems. And then other times it just be like, y'all some big ass kids.
Exactly.
So balancing that, and then having to balance your own life, and then noticing like you may just be on a different wavelength than them. You may be more mature because of the situations that you have to go through. Yeah. Everybody has their own time, but when life be life and you really have to do things on your own, and you have that realization like, mama's not gonna help me, daddy not gonna help me, I can't run to my peoples for savior to bail me out of this situation. I'm gonna have to do this on my own. And then on top of that, it's like, yeah, the school, they have their resources, but it's limited. So you're still basically gonna have to do that on your own. Exactly. And I think that was the realization, like, damn, I'm really adulting, like trying to figure this out, like this school, job, bus, whatever the situation may be, this thing called life, it's a journey.
Before we close out, I'm introducing a new segment. It's going to be in every episode, and it's called Temperature Check. It's one question, okay? No prep, no nothing, and don't get to lying.
Ooh. Okay.
What's one thing y'all had to let go of in order to thrive?
People pleasing.
Okay.
My ex.
My ex too. My ex too.
She had to go
immediately.
She held me down, like literally.
Not in the right way.
Not in the right way.
Not in the right way.
Like I needed her to like get away. I'm so glad that I went through the situations I went through, because ever since we departed from each other, I have nothing but opportunities. My goals are being met. Ooh. I'm having like healthy relationships with my family. I'm starting to talk to my friends again. Like, I didn't realize how much of a hole I was in until I was free.
Yes.
And you know?
I just recently got a relationship in February. And since then, I got my dream job. Not only thank y'all. I love y'all. Not only did I get my dream job, but I started a podcast. I've been wanting to start a podcast for like 2 years.
Period.
And I finally did it. I finally had the courage to just get up and get it together, you know? And not even that, but so many other things. Like, I built new connections. So many things have occurred, and I feel like I'm not going to sit up here and say that this person was the worst person in the world. I'm not going to say that at all, because at the end of the day, like, we've been through some shit together, you know? But I do feel like in those 2 years that I knew this person, I was the lowest that I've ever been. And so to be able to see that shift, to be able to wake up and not have to worry about what this person is doing, if this person is doing some shicey shit behind my back, all this and that, just to not have to have those feelings anymore, to be able to just wake up and just be happy, like it's Tuesday, hey, you know what I mean? Like to not have to sit on the phone and argue with a person back and forth, sit in one spot, texting, arguing, like bro, just to have peace. We good, y'all?
Yeah,
we good.
All right, y'all. So
first episode down, y'all. Like and subscribe and follow the page on Instagram.
Make sure y'all follow us. Make sure y'all subscribe.
And get some merch.
Thank y'all so much. Like
definitely,
from the
so
bottom part of my heart. Like thank y'all so much for being here, being on this journey with me. Y'all always down supporting anything that I do, and I just appreciate it so much. And I feel like the world deserves to hear what y'all gotta say. So with that being said, Off Record Podcast, over and out.